So I wanted to touch on something while Odie and I go for our evening walk, because I keep seeing these videos regarding manifestation and the attachment and letting go, which honestly is what got me started on elevating my vibration in the first place. So I know the power of letting go, but I think there's a confusion for a lot of people who are in the beginning of their manifestation journey. I think a lot of people seem to think that in order to manifest something, you have to not care about the outcome, or you have to not care about possibly even people, right? You have to let them go and not care about them. But that's not true. Let's talk about love for a minute. What is everyone's understanding of true unconditional love? Well, let's just stop. What does the word unconditional actually mean? Very simple. It means unconditional. It means there's no conditions on what you're doing. There's no requirements that must be met. There's nothing that you must do in order to receive it. It's unconditional. So unconditional love is a gift. It's something given without the need for anything in return. Now, when that comes to an attachment for a thing or a project or a desire, it makes it pretty simple, right? You can unconditionally desire it, but have no expectation of how it comes about. That's an easy manifestation. You can focus on the feeling of what it would be like to achieve your goal and then manifest that feeling without worrying about the details, without having expectation. That's not so hard. When it gets hard is when it comes to love. I don't know how many of you guys have heard that song, What the World Needs Now, right? Love. What's the one thing in this world everybody's craving from the bottom of their souls, but are terrified of never getting? Love. What's the one thing that as a little kid we do naturally until it slowly gets programmed out of us? We love. And we love so hard, and we love so purely, that it doesn't matter who abuses us. It doesn't matter how many times we get hurt. We keep loving unconditionally until it gets programmed out of us. So when you are manifesting and you are, let's say, trying to reach your highest vibration, your highest elevation, keep in mind that it's not about not caring. It's not about not loving. It's about loving unconditionally when you can, in your capacity, not beyond your capacity, but without expectation. What I like to say is that when you are, say, perhaps on a journey and you realize that you're stuck with your manifestation, maybe it's your dream life, maybe it's your soulmate or twin flame or your person or whatever it might be, perhaps in your effort to not care, you're actually resisting the one thing that you need to do. So let's take one more step back. If your pain becomes your power, the more pain you feel, the more powerful you become. And yes, love can come with great pain, especially when you love unconditionally without expectation, because that means you aren't requesting that someone do something for it. You're giving it as a gift. It's a free gift given without any requirements. So yeah, it can hurt sometimes if you are not careful and don't have healthy boundaries. So keep that in mind. Healthy boundaries matter. But loving unconditionally is something you do within your capacity without requirements. And yes, sometimes it can hurt. How many little kids do you see sometimes crying because they see an animal being abused, or they see another child being abused? They don't. require that child or that animal to give them anything in return, do they? They just love them. And even though it's causing them great pain and suffering, they keep loving them. Because that's what we're made of, is love. That's what we're meant to do. It's true. So it's okay to love and feel the pain. And many of us, the biggest fear, our superpower that we keep resisting, is the fear of loving unconditionally, because, well, we're pretty sure we're never going to get it back, right? There's no way we're going to get unconditional love back. We're just going to keep on giving that energy away, and it's never going to come back. But you guys are forgetting a very important factor. We are made from unconditional love. When you live authentically in yourself, it's unconditional love for yourself. Every fiber of your being is going to vibrate so pure and so high that you're going to glow no matter what. So it's okay to manifest things and not have an attachment to the outcome, and still have a feeling, a very strong emotion, a care for whether it works out or not. It's not so much that it has to work out a certain way. It's that you're honoring your human gameplay here on Earth, and you're acknowledging that as a human, part of the experience is having feelings. That's why your higher self talks to you through your emotions a lot of the time, because part of the gameplay is to have the human experience. These human bodies that create these chemical reactions in our brain, not every multidimensional being is experiencing this at the moment. In a way, it's a gift. The pain is a gift. Feeling the love is a gift. Sorry, Odie had my legs tangled. Freaking dog. So, yeah, I just want you guys to not be afraid of the pain that comes with loving unconditionally. Remembering that you have to have healthy boundaries, and it's really important that you make sure you're not giving more than you can refill on your own through whatever means you use to refill your cup. But stop resisting it. Stop resisting feeling unconditional love for things and people and other beings, period, in existence, just because you're afraid of the pain that might come with it in case it's not returned. That pain becomes your power. Your fear becomes your tool to harness the power. And the unconditional love is what we're made of and what our purpose is here on Earth. Some people express it through art. Some people express it by serving others in a more literal manner, such as doctors, medical workers, whatever their calling is. However you feel the calling you, that's how you're sharing your unconditional love with the world. But here's the kicker. You won't be able to do that to your fullest ability until you learn how to unconditionally love yourself. The good, the bad, the ugly. And if you can't practice that, it's going to stunt some of your manifestation. Because your last elevation, your last level up, requires, Odie's protecting me. Odie, we're safe. We're okay. Hang on. So yeah, your last elevation requires you to love yourself unconditionally. And it's hard because it can hurt, loving yourself unconditionally. Because you have to realize that you're never going to be perfect while you're here on Earth. You're never not going to have fear. You're never not going to have doubts. You're never going to wonder. You're never not going to wonder if you're doing it right. It's not meant to be easy. It's a master class, okay? Like, this is beyond your PhDs and all that stuff. This is the end game, baby. And so it requires you to love unconditionally. It requires you to accept yourself and your hot mess when you can't control the emotions, when you're afraid to love because you're pretty sure you're never going to get it back. because it's a lie, you are. Because you're going to love yourself, and it's going to come back to you. Because you're loving yourself unconditionally. Right, Odie? Say yes. Oh, good. See? Yeah, you get it back already. So just keep that in mind if you're trying to manifest something. It's okay to care. But it's not okay to have an expectation of what you're caring is going to achieve. I've loved a lot of people in my life, and I've gotten very little of it back. Even today, I can tell you there's very little of it coming back from actual people in the unconditional sense. I know that they do love and care, but they can't. They don't have the capacity to love unconditionally because they don't know how to love themselves. And I don't expect that from anybody. That's a personal thing, right? That's not something we are to judge or criticize or condemn. That's a personal thing. So when you are trying to manifest something, or you're dealing with the law of attachment or detachment, or, becoming magnetic, it doesn't mean you have to stop caring. It doesn't mean you stop feeling. It just means you don't require a certain qualification for the energy you're putting into the emotion. You have to accept that that's what you're feeling. This is what it is. And whatever works out, works out. But trust that the universe and karma is real, right? Which means that if you give out unconditional love, no matter how much pain comes with that, it's not only going to become your power, it's going to become your abundance. That's true manifestation. It really is. I hope you guys have a great night. I love you guys. I'm going to go home. My fingers are cold.